I hope your day is full of elves and fairies and turkey legs and knights and jousting. And guys, it's a Ren Fair intro. You know it. You love it. Let's get whimsical. We have an amazing episode of Shank for you this week with the one, the only juicy Jetski Jessie Johnson. It's going to be a fun episode. But before we get into this week's episode of Shank, there's just a few things I want to tell you about. One, subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk for bonus content, videos and photos and stuff that's not on Instagram. Go there. It's just $5 a month. And then, you can find me here every Wednesday on Shank and every Monday on This Bitch podcast with Kim Congdon. And my show dates are all on my Instagram at Princess Shank. You can head over there, go to the link tree for links to dates. And before we get into this week's episode with Jetski, there's just one more thing I want to tell you about, and that's Oh Yeah socks. Oh yeah. If you're like me, you know how important socks are. I never wake up and say, you know what I wish I had less of? I wish I had less socks. That has never happened. Every day, I wake up to a really fun assortment of socks from ohyeah.com, and I can't recommend them enough. Whether you need socks for skating or, the snow or slippers for around the house, head to ohyeah.com. They make amazing gifts for your friends and families. They have flamingo slippers. Those are one of my favorite pairs. And also I have a pair of narwhal socks. Whatever you're into, there's a pair of socks for you. Shop ohyeah.com. Discount code Sara10, SARA 10. All right, guys, let's get into this week's episode of Shank with the one, the only Jetski. Here it is. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is the one, the only comedian, Jetski Johnson.
Hey,
Juicy Jetski Johnson.
Jenga Johnson, too, now.
What?
Yeah, dude. I played a pretty intense Jenga tournament.
Was that on Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
I did see you post it up. I was surprised that you were there because we had gone to Universal all day, and you did a set, and then you were, really in the zone with the Jenga.
Yeah, all day Universal. Got home, walked my dog, played with her, then got to the store. Main room set was so fun. And then I walked into the back bar, and there's all these games now. And they started this Jenga. There were 6 of us, and somebody got out. And Matt Lockwood was like, let's do a tournament. Every time someone gets out, they can't play again. So we went from 6 to 2. And it was me and Logan. And Lenny, this server here, she started playing this really intense music. Like dum, 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 dum.
During the Jenga competition? Did you win?
I got second place to Logan. It was a really good game. I'm still kind of shaking off the loss, but we put on a good show.
No. The big Jengas, those seem fun. Like the ones that they have at bars.
Yeah, you gotta use 2 hands to get them.
Yeah. I've never really been much of I'm bad at games. I feel like I can't commit to the full game.
I'm super competitive.
You are?
Yeah. I don't choose to be. Those qualities.
You seem to be.
I don't it.
You come across as being just a sweet, nice lady, but really inside she's a little competitive. That's so funny.
I think it's the way as a kid I would get people to like me, and make friends if I was good at something.
Right.
And so it's just been instilled in me, and I really try.
Same. I'm so tired from trying. I look around and I see people and they're not trying at all and they seem to be okay too.
I know. I wish I could not be competitive, but I've accepted that.
But there is a level of you have to be kind of competitive if you want to do stand-up because there's a part of you that's deranged and you're like, I'm killing it. Yeah, I booked another show. Like that.
I feel you have to be competitive with yourself, but there's no winning.
There's no winning.
So it's
you never win.
It's like a living hell.
Yeah, you're like, my week's turned around. I got a spot in the belly room. And then the next week you don't. And you're like, what is my life?
I could have a good set in the main room and get off stage and I'm like, I wish I was better.
I know. I have that too.
Yeah.
What is that?
Drive, maybe.
Dude, it's exhausting.
It's good, I think, to want to be better. If you're selling tickets because you want to give people a show that's worthy of their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
I'm running for office.
Yeah, you are running for office. Yeah, no, it's true. You want to care about it. I mean, but having a bad set, when you have a bad set and you're deep into your career, you're like, I didn't even know that could happen like that still.
Yeah. And the only difference is now there's way more eyes on you.
I know. Before, it didn't really matter.
No, I used to be like delusional, but it was like either delusional or having hope, depending how you look at it. But I would just think in my head, I'm so glad I'm gonna appreciate how invisible I am right now. And I'd like walk around like grocery shopping, like, well, I still do that now. I don't get recognized grocery shopping, but I'll be like, man, it's so nice to be able to do this. And I think that in my head. And nowadays, like the main room yesterday was so cool because I walk on stage and there's a guy in the front row wearing a Jetski hoodie.
That's so fucking crazy.
Like, holy shit.
That's so crazy.
Guess it's time to do my new cutting jokes.
No. We have cutting jokes.
I tried to make it like because I quit smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
It's been 1 month and 1 day now. And
how's that going?
I have a lozenge right now.
Do the lozenges ever make you nauseous?
No, but the snus.
Yeah.
Snus is it called?
Or the Zyn?
Zyn, yeah, the Zyns, they make me sick. Like I put them in and I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Oh my God. When I was in Austin, Shane Gillis gave me one. He's like, you want one of these? And I was like, he's like, just see how long you can talk on it for. I was like, okay. So I like put it in my... I really walked into that one. And I got so nauseous. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna fucking throw up in Mitzi's. This is not even worth it. I'd rather just the smoke.
I know it. They're gross. But yeah, it's the lozenges are a better alternative to not smoking.
Yeah. But luckily you're not vaping.
No, vaping. It's like sucking on a battery, and
fun.
The worst part is it's like I like it.
Yeah, no.
And then I feel like sick because I think I'm just sucking on like fumes or not fumes, but like electricity,
chemicals or something. It's weird. I don't even know what it is most of the time.
I don't know. I think it's like getting ready for AI to have bad habits.
Yeah.
Like once AI gets implemented and becomes more human-like, it's gonna start having flaws as well.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
What about, you know how Elon Musk is like doing things where it's like your body becomes half technology? Is it like a Neuralink or something?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Would you do that?
I wouldn't do it, but I saw the first one they did, the guy was paralyzed. And so they put the Neuralink in and he was able to play chess and play games on the computer just with his mind and like move the mouse with his mind. But I guess it detached. I saw Whitney Cummings. She posted about it yesterday. That's where I get all my news.
From Whitney's Instagram?
Yeah, from her stories. And it said it malfunctioned or like the attachment broke. So like they're still working on it. But I could see the technology being awesome for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can do things. I'm abled. So
yeah.
Speaking of
abled.
Remember the
Universal?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so we went to Universal Studios. Let me tell you. I like Universal. It's no Disneyland. Yeah. I'm a big Disney bitch.
Yeah.
I was trying to I try to keep a low profile about it, right?
I feel like everybody knows.
I'm really obsessed with Disney.
Why isn't Simpsons in Disneyland then? Because Disney owns Simpsons now.
Disney owns Simpsons?
Yeah.
Well, I think the Simpsons are on Disney Plus through Universal, but I think it gets all weird like that.
That's crazy. There's no Disney characters at Universal.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but we saw some cool. Shrek was there.
Shrek was there. Seeing Shrek was a high.
Yeah,
it was like seeing. I don't know. Like the way people were acting when Post Malone was at the store was how I felt when I saw Shrek.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
was there.
He's behind us.
Yeah, he's like, step out of the way. Shrek's coming through.
No, yeah. It was crazy. He had more security he had like Rogan level security.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah, they weren't as strapped, but
yeah.
they did look like townsfolk from the fairyland that he's from.
Yes. And then I saw Lisa Simpson and I didn't know I could get so excited over seeing Lisa Simpson.
Lisa and Homer were out.
And the line was too long.
It was like a huge meet and greet.
Yeah. It was crazy, dude.
And we started do anything the new thing over there is like the Super Mario.
Oh yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, the ride itself was canceled, but the world was worth the visit.
The world's cool. It's all cool and fun. I don't like the studio tour. Now that Christy's not here, I
know.
can tell you the truth.
We went with our dear friend Christy. We love her to death. And she really wanted to go on the studio tour. And I just went a couple months ago with my sister. And it was like, I think if you work in production, but she does too. But anyway, like being a production assistant for so many years.
Yeah.
Like it was like kind of all like, okay, I've seen it once. I don't need to see this again. And it took an hour.
It took an hour. And then halfway through it, they dropped us off at this, like, how do you explain where they dropped us off? Like a wasteland of like artifacts from Universal. It was like King Kong's hand that you could take a picture in the middle of the tour. They drop you off there and they say, yeah, so if you want to get out and take some pictures like with Jaws and like King Kong, go for it. And then we're like, but for how long and how do we get back on the bus? They're like, we don't really know. Just go take a picture with all these things if you want and then get back onto the bus.
Yeah, it was very like secret ops. The driver was like, looked like he was just out of college, but he was like, I've already said too much.
Yeah.
I have no idea when we're leaving, if we're leaving.
Yeah.
If you want to get off now. He kind of was like, you should get off now. Like
he didn't want us on the bus.
No.
He's like, yeah, the bus is better now that those loud bitches left. But yeah, no, it was fun. And then, so Christy broke her foot. Her foot was broken. So we thought this whole time, she was like...
Pre-Universal.
Yeah, pre-Universal. She's like, I want to get a scooter. And I was like, hell yeah. Then we can cut the lines because she's got her scooter and stuff. And then we get there and she gets scooter shy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know if I want it. And I'm like, your foot isn't hurting? You don't want the scooter? Seems pretty tight.
Yeah.
Seems pretty cool. Until... how do you explain what happened?
We end at Harry Potter Land and we go into the flight simulator ride, which seemed awesome. And
awesome.
Yeah, because you're like, your feet dangle. Like it seemed like the most real roller coaster in the park. And so we saved that for last. And we get there and the way to get on the ride, the floor is kind of moving. So you have to go on fast and jump in the seat.
Yeah.
And she was like, she didn't even say anything. The person working saw the boot and said, hey, do you want to go through ADA since the floor is moving?
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, let's do that. Then they proceed to take us down a really long hallway, up an elevator, and then down this other hallway, which looked like a janitor's
We were
hallway.
like in the bowels of Universal because our friend was like had a disability. And then you see all these people with like real disabilities and you're like, this is dark. Like the dark side of Universal. Like you're like walking through a garage. It's like Jetski says, like the janitor's closet. You're like, am I supposed to be here?
Someone's pushing a trash cart by us.
Yeah.
And then all these people in wheelchairs. I'm like, why wouldn't they make this more inviting for people who have like these major disabilities? But there was like one wizard at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And he was like, we'll get you on soon. And we waited quite a long time. And we finally got through and we were sitting down and the ride starts to go. And right before we get off the track, so like your feet are dangling, but there's still floor underneath you.
Yeah.
So right before we leave the flooring, it stops. And it says this like
voice comes on.
Pre-recorded message. The ride has been stopped momentarily. Please do not get out of your seat. And it'll start up immediately. Like it was like preparing us to like start. And then we got through it and everything was fine for about 2.5 seconds. And we go up and we see this screen and it's Harry's like leading us on his broomstick and we're flying and it's so cool.
Fun.
And then it just stops and the screen in front of us goes blank and we're just staring at like this close, like pretty close to this projector and you see all of the guts of the ride.
Oh my God. And we were just stuck there and I was freaking out.
Yeah, it was probably like 45 degrees like tilted up. So like and our feet are just dangling. And we have like spots later that night.
I'm like, are we going to get stuck at Universal? And then I'm like, am I going to have to pee on the Harry Potter ride? Like your head goes like worst case scenario. And you're like, because you don't think that's going to happen to you. Have you been stuck on a ride before?
Never. And that is one of my biggest fears.
That was, it really became my biggest fear after it was like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fine and stuff for like maybe another minute. But if it would have gone on, I think I would have lost it.
I've heard horror stories of somebody I think got stuck upside down for like a long time. Do you guys remember that? It was on the news, but...
So like Magic Mountain?
I can't even remember where, but I remember thinking like, that is worst case scenario. Well, I
Getting-
guess dying is worst case scenario.
Dying on a ride, dude. Roller coaster stuck upside down for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
That'd be enough to make me not go on roller coasters anymore.
Yeah, imagine. That's the whole time I was like, at least we're not that.
Dude. And then my dumbass has my purse in there probably.
Yeah.
Upside down. That's so fucked up.
But isn't that in the Harry Potter? Doesn't, like,
It does.
somebody, like, freezes him in the Quidditch game?
Yeah.
And I was like,
If we got stuck upside down, that
This
would
is-
have been horrific.
yeah, that would have been bad. And then it started and the rest of the ride was kind of lame because we were just like, get us off of this thing.
Yeah, we got traumatized. They made us walk through like the handicap garage. And then after that, which was dark. And then after that, we got stuck on the fucking ride.
Yeah, I wish they made the ADA experience a little more inviting.
I know.
Because, like, I don't know, Christy, it was a temporary thing. But, like, some of these people, it seemed like a permanent, like, they have to do this. And I'm like, what are the other rides like? Like,
Yeah,
that
'cause-
sucks. It already sucks to not be able to walk.
And then now you're just in,
Understatement
like,
of the year. But,
Yeah.
but then you're going through, like, trash corridors.
It's so bad. It was so bad. And then let me tell you, one thing about Universal, I think they need to update their food.
Oh, yeah. The food is terrible there.
Let's knock it all down and rebuild.
Beer's good, though. I have 4 Duff glasses now.
Yeah, well, because we're like we're at an amusement park. That means like there's no rules, right? We're like drinking at like 10 in the morning. It was crazy.
That's the most wild I've ever been, like, before a set in 12 years. Like, I've really appreciated that day because I was able to let loose a little bit. Like, I had a little bite of a chocolate and
Yeah,
I had the beers, and then I was still, like, drinking water and stuff
Yeah.
and, like, thinking about my set. But I got home and I had so much fun on stage. And
That's how I felt too. I felt like I went on a vacation.
yeah.
I was on a vacation at Universal Studios. I didn't even think I was gonna have as much fun as I had. It was so fun.
Yeah, and I normally have fun on stage like you should, but lately it's just been feeling like so much pressure to do well that
I feel like that too.
yeah.
And it's like you're in your head instead of like being playful.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of more drugs lately and
Yeah.
just
For the
viral.
art. For the art.
For the art, yeah.
Yeah, no, once you get stuck upside down or you get stuck at Universal, you're like, fuck it. Nothing matters. We could have died at Universal, dude.
Yeah, and it was funny to be like, I gotta leave the park. I have to work tonight. And it was like
coming
at
here.
the best job in the world.
We were playing some Jenga.
The Jenga tournament was so intense. They're gonna keep doing it. You should get in on that.
No, because you know what happens is these people who work here, they get obsessed with these games, right? First it was Mafia,
Like,
okay?
I'm one of them.
Mafia, they push it on me.
Mafia, I don't like as much.
They push it on me. If I don't want to play it, suddenly I'm the sourpuss in the group. I said, listen, bitch, we play this game every single time I've fucking been here for the last 6 months. I need a few days off, okay? I don't have a passion for it the same way these other people do.
Mafia gets so intense in the back.
It's like, and people get angry at each other. And then I start looking at people differently because I'm like, oh, this person's a deceptive little liar.
Yeah, that's what I don't like either.
And they're
Jenga-
good at lying.
Jenga's all cards on the table.
Yeah, you know what you're getting.
Everybody knows what's going on. You can talk throughout. Like, the Mafia, it's like you just kind of have to, like, sit there.
And if you're
wait.
out, you have to observe quietly.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Like,
I'm
no.
out of there.
No.
I'll try to get out. Like, one time I played one of my best friends, Katie, came with me to the store, and I was Mafia the first round. And the second round, I was Mafia again. And so as they were passing out the cards, I was like, Katie,
You gave her.
take it. She's like, no. I was like, do it. And she took the card. And so she was Mafia. And the whole game, I, like, knew it. And I just kind of got out. Like, I purposely got out fast so I could just watch her play. 'Cause I didn't want to do it, but it was funny. Every time she would vote, I could hear the ice in her drink moving.
No.
I, like, started learning, like, people's tells.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, Mafia is not for me. But then also, like, at Mothership, they're obsessed with the Connect 4.
Yeah, they're really on that Connect 4.
Do we have that here yet?
No,
Okay.
but
Not yet.
Lenny bought a bunch of games in the back, and there's, like, a mini pool table, which I played with Ranji, and that was really fun.
Ooh.
And there's the just, like, it's like an air hockey thing, but it's not. It's like
Like a table one?
yeah, it's like mini. And then there's Jenga, and there's also waterproof cards back there. Which
Waterproof cards?
maybe if, like, a drink spills, I don't know. But I
That's
was like,
crazy.
that's interesting.
What do they look like? Regular cards?
Mhm.
but they're waterproof.
Yeah, I guess they're just plastic.
We have games here now?
Lenny bought them.
That's so nice.
Lenny worked the back bar or the video bar. Am I saying it? The video bar, right?
The VIP bar?
VIP bar.
The video bar?
It's known by many names.
Yeah, all three of those names were correct.
The video bar?
It used to be called that.
That's how legendary it is.
Now they call it Ciro's because they redid it.
That's true. Now it's Ciro's.
Well, the
Ciro's
only person I've
VIP.
heard call it Ciro's is Peter Shore. He was like, yeah, Ciro's. I'm like, the VIP bar?
It does say that now on the glass. It looks awesome. They renovated it. Anytime there's a big event here, the Comedy Store gets a facelift, and I love it.
I know. I'm like, I do like what they did in there. The
It's
wallpaper, it seems like less like a spare bedroom and more like an actual bar.
Like a basement
Yeah.
bedroom. Yeah. It's fun. And Lenny worked most of it during the Netflix festival. And I think she took some of the money people gave her and invested back into it and bought a bunch of games. And I think I might
That's
be saying
nice.
it wrong, but
That's nice. I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, fuck that. I'm getting my own Jenga, having a home. I don't want communal Jenga with strange comics touching my wooden pieces like that. No.
it was so fun though, because by the end, so we went, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then it was the last
What's that?
game.
6, 5, 4, 3.
6 players to 5 to 4 to 3, and then it was just me and Logan. And I remember we were probably like 30 rounds in, just me and Logan. Like it went on for a long time, and I turned around to get a different angle on the game, and I looked, and now there's like 40 people watching. Like everybody who was still here just came in there and watched the game, and it was really fun.
That is fun.
I was like,
They used to have that hook game in the kitchen with the ring and the
yeah,
hook.
I think Richie didn't like it there, so they
was
also
too
got a mini
distracting.
hook game and put it back.
Yeah.
yeah.
The mini hook game, have you done it?
Yeah, I'm really bad at those ones.
I'm bad at it too, but my boyfriend got one and he's like, you care too much, just be cool with it. And I'm like, okay. So I did that and then I got it. And then I was like, getting it on the hook really did something to me. Like
It boosted your confidence.
it did. I was like, I could do anything.
I'll give it a try. But I'm so competitive that like if I know I can't do it, so I'm like,
It's
I'm
not even worth
touch
it for you.
No,
No.
I stay in my lane. I'm a Jenga girl.
You know what you're good at.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And then getting the Duff beer was fun.
It was so fun. And Christy gave me one of her cups, and I had one before, so I do have a whole dinner set now.
You do the full Duff collection.
Yeah.
I have my one dinosaur cup.
Oh yeah, from Jurassic World.
And I was like carrying it around. It was like a little bit of alcohol was like spilling in the bag. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, you gotta wash it out in the sink in the bathroom and then use the air vent to dry it. Just hot tip.
Hot tip. Amusement park tips. I do like an amusement park. I really wanted to go to the Renaissance Fair and I just missed it.
Oh, did you know I'm a huge Renaissance Fair person?
No, I wish
Like-
I would have known because I would have gone with you while it was still happening.
I might go. I'm in Wilmington this weekend, and there's one in town, and I might go by myself.
You should. Will you dress up?
No, but I dressed up a lot as a kid. My dad, and my stepmom love the Ren Fair, so I would go all the time as a kid, and they actually got married there.
What?
I know.
Your dad got married at the Ren Fair?
My dad's a hippie, and
He found a
my
wench?
stepmom did too. So
No.
that's how perfect they are for each other.
How do they meet?
I think they met at some kind of like New Age festival kind of thing.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe a
Did
drum
they dress
circle.
up? Did they dress up?
Oh yeah. They not only dressed up, but the king and queen of the fair did a joust. Like they put on a joust in their honor. So like we got escorted by the king and the queen.
What Ren
I
Fair
must have
did your
been
dad
8.
get married at?
Phoenix, Arizona.
No.
It's great. But we would go they had friends who ran a shop called the Apothecary.
Yeah.
So we would go after hours and just see the empty fair, and people would work on their shops there. And so I kind of grew up at the
Ren Fair?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I know. I want to be normal so bad, but I've
You
accepted as I
can't.
get older that I just did not have a normal. I mean,
You were
who
raised
did? But,
at the Ren Fair.
yeah, half the time. So my parents are divorced, so
Yeah.
my mom was pretty normal. So I think I'm lucky. I kind of got the two
The two.
slices of life
Yeah.
together, so I kind of can fit in.
Yeah. Did your mom come to the wedding at the Ren Fair? No.
No, I don't think so. I think she was invited, but
She was like, I'm good. I'm good on that. Have fun with that. Oh my God. I don't need to see my ex-husband marrying a new wench.
Yeah, they did a hand fasting ceremony.
What?
It's like where the groom and the bride hold hands and they like twine their hands together, and I think the whole day they're like their hands are tied
Together?
Yeah.
You fasten your hand to your lifelong partner?
Yeah. Just
And
for the
walk
day.
around the Ren Fair like that?
Yeah. And you watch jousts and I don't know.
I have my costume. I would be an elf. I have the ears. I have
You would be an
I have
elf.
several pairs of ears.
But this is why I don't dress up now, because it's like I don't know how to
Why?
describe
That's
it.
where you draw the line? You don't want to LARP?
It wasn't like I go because it's nostalgic to my childhood.
Right. That's like me at the mall.
Yeah, you're not like dress up for the mall.
Dress up for the mall.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's like I kind of got dragged there. Like I liked it as a kid, but it was just something like we did as a family. So I'll go just because it's nostalgic, but I'm not like super into medieval shit.
But like, don't you think it would do something to your soul to go fully dressed up? Like a
It might
crown?
crush it.
I think it'd be amazing to go alone dressed up.
No, I feel lame enough every day already. Like me being alone on my headlining weekend in like a princess outfit.
You could bring the opener.
Yeah, that is. I'm trying to look at things differently because certain dates I can bring people, but I can't afford to fly people out. Like
I know.
Wilmington was hard to get to, so
Then you're like, oh, great, the local hire.
yeah. But
We'll see how this goes.
and I'm trying to reframe it because Santino told me he met Chris O'Connor that way.
Oh, really?
And now they're like great best friends. So I'm like, okay, I'm keeping an open mind, and maybe I'll meet some cool comics on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to keep an open mind.
You got
can't,
it.
You can't go into it with a closed mind.
No,
You can't go into comedy with a closed mind in general.
No.
It's always like, what kind of adventure am I going to have? Like when I was in Vegas by myself, I was just out. I went to Meow Wolf. I told you. It's like
Oh,
that
yeah.
interactive museum. It's fucking sick. I was drinking by myself in the middle of the day. And I was having the time of my life because I was like, it's work.
I like that about you. You're more courageous. I'm trying to get more like that because on the road I feel a little more like. Now, definitely not agoraphobic, but I do get a little bit of like a fear of going out by myself. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to like break that and experience more.
Yeah, you got to go to the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
You have to.
I'll drink a mead.
Yes. You need to.
Yes. Somebody told me that. And Annie Letterman took us to the Ren Fair when she took me to Kansas City. They had one in town and she knew this about me. So she's like, I'm taking you. And me and her and Todd and her dog Randy went.
Did you dress up?
We didn't dress up. We didn't have a lot of time, first of all, but we took a picture, like a family portrait, and they had costumes where we could just
And like
throw
those
them on.
old-timey ones?
Yeah,
That's so fun.
it was really fun. And then, yeah, my favorite movie is Mad Max, like the whole saga.
Uh-huh.
And the new one, Furiosa, comes out on Friday, and I leave Thursday night. I'm doing a red eye. And so I was looking, there's no movie theaters near this club. And then I looked, and there's one playing at 3 p.m. on Thursday. It's like a soft opening. So I already got tickets. So
Okay.
I'm like super. I was going to go see the movie by myself, but there's nothing around this club.
That's crazy. So you're going to go this week
Yeah,
before?
Thursday. I'm really stoked about that.
Well, you got to go to the Ren Fair this weekend. You
think I
have
might.
to.
Yeah.
For your childhood's sake.
Yeah.
I can't believe your dad got married at the Ren Fair. That's so fucking crazy.
And they're still together.
Were you dressed up as a kid for that?
Yeah.
What were you dressed as?
Oh, like a maiden.
How many people were at the wedding? Was it small?
I would say like 30 to 40.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it was a really nice ceremony. Not for me, but like, they enjoyed it. And I think because a lot of their friends worked there, like it was just
Their community was there.
their community was there. They showed up. And they're like, so they're very spiritual, but they're not religious. So I think getting married in a church would be weird for them. So this kind of was like being in nature is like,
Yeah. Would you get married in a church?
I gotta find somebody first.
The thought of, I mean,
That's
like
so
the
far away
idea of
from my
being married seems nice, but the thought of planning a wedding.
Did you grow up like thinking about your wedding?
Yeah. I've been thinking about my wedding since the day I was born, okay? I don't know what to tell you. There's no easy way around this. But now the older I get, I'm like, well, it doesn't have to be a huge wedding. Well, I'm not engaged.
You're like taking back
Yeah,
some of
but
your
I'm like,
expectations.
what if we just went bowling? What if it was 50 friends and we went bowling and had a pizza? I
That
don't know.
could
What
be-
about people who get married at like Disneyland? That's
I could
expensive.
see you doing that.
I would want to, but I know that I know I would love to, but the stigma.
Mickey Mouse like officiates it.
Oh boy. What is it?
Do you take this boy?
Oh my God. Dude, that would be. How much do you think it is to get married at Disneyland? Can we look that up? It's got to be expensive.
Yeah, because what is entailed in that? Like renting out a whole space to have.
You want to get
guests
married
and-
on Main Street, honey? Start saving now. What? Weddings at Disneyland Resort start at
Whoa.
$15K and are held to an event minimum.
That's a lot, right? I don't know what weddings cost. I've never thought about my wedding.
They start at $15,000.
That's a lot of money. That's like a used car.
Oh my God. Fuck the used car. Get married at Disneyland. Oh my God. Look, I got to tell you.
I mean, it's beautiful. They're all beautiful.
It is beautiful. Not a Disney honeymoon. Can you imagine that?
That's
Like
weird.
we're going to go fuck and then we're going to have Goofy's pancakes in the morning. Like that's crazy.
I don't like that.
Me either. What about Disney cruise? I think I can unfortunately get into that.
I did a cruise when I was 8 and it was so fun. But I think part of it was because I was 8. And I think when you get older, the cruise is not as like,
Glamorous.
yeah.
You see the dark side of the cruise culture. It's just like fat Americans at buffets all day.
Yeah. And you're just around the same people all the time. And I think as a comedian too, I look at it different because I have friends who work it. And it's like you're doing the shows all week and then you're just around all your audience all the
Ooh.
time. So it's like even it goes the best it could go or the worst it can go. Both scenarios are bad.
Now I'm poolside with someone who watched me bomb.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then
that's
they're like, oh, she got fat and she bombed. That type of energy. No, thank you.
no.
I don't need the people who watch me on stand up seeing me in a bathing suit same day.
No, I would do it just to like I'm all about the experience of being a stand-up comedian. So like I would do one, but I would want some like I would want to bring somebody, and maybe my friends could come too.
Yeah, you need a +1 if
Yeah,
you're doing a cruise. You
you
can't
need a
do a
crew.
cruise alone. You could do the Ren Fair alone. You could do a movie theater alone, but you cannot do a cruise alone.
Yeah, the Ren Fair is perfect alone because it's a big crowd and you're just walking. Keep
Yeah.
it moving.
Yeah, just keep it
The
moving.
cruise, it's like you just gotta be in a place.
Dude, if I was divorced, I might hit a cruise.
Yeah, but what if everyone on the cruise with you was married
I feel like a lot of sad divorcees take cruises.
by themselves?
I feel like there's lots
I think there's like a singles deck. I think
Oh,
there's
yeah,
like
you
a-
can
The
do
singles deck? That's sad. I'm going through menopause on the singles deck.
Yeah, but what if you meet somebody on the singles deck and he really likes you, but you're not into him, and then you see him for the rest of the week?
I would be hiding. I would hide from him. I would probably have to have a hard conversation with that man, which I've done before. Like, I'm just not really feeling this. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been honest? It's disgusting. I hate it. Don't recommend.
I've been honest now that I'm older, but when I was younger, it was more of just like hitting the road and never
Yeah,
looking
ghosting.
back. Yeah.
Like, I'm never talking to that person again. One guy ghosted because he took me to a Dave Matthews concert, which already I was like, not the biggest fan.
Also,
but
my dad's favorite
it
band.
is.
Yeah.
That's where his honeymoon is. Dude, this guy took me to a Dave Matthews concert and he was like this like kind of nerdy accountant and I didn't really have any feelings for him and he was playing the electric air guitar the whole time.
How
like,
is it electric?
like, he was like playing it like it was electric. He wasn't playing it acoustic.
He's like-
he was like shredding.
He's like, oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Plugs it in.
Yes. And he was dancing and I was like, this is embarrassing. I don't want to go out another day with you. Concerts are real hit or miss for me.
He's trying to, you're like, listen, put that down for a
Put
second.
that, please put that down, dude. Have you been on a date at a concert?
Yes, I have a
Was it
long
fun?
time ago. And it was funny because the guy, I still talk to him every once in a while as friends, but
Yeah.
he's a glass blower. And that's what I was
Was he
working at.
friends with your dad?
No, he's like more of a like bongs, like
Okay.
and I was working at a smoke shop and that's how I met. He was like a customer and I was like 19, and I dropped out of school. That's like all I was doing was like, I'm a smoke shop person. Anyway, I met him and he took me to this concert and we're like up front in like the mosh pit and the date is weird because you can't like talk because it's
Right.
so loud. And then he goes, hey, do you want to hit this? and I look, and he has a whole rig with a torch. Like, this is like years ago, so it was before they had all the fancy like ways to smoke
he had like
hash.
trap tools.
He had an actual like flame torch.
That's
and
crazy.
He's in the mosh pit on the ground on the grass.
No.
Like, yes, like torching this rig and hitting a dab. Like, with not only is the fire a lot, but like the wax on the stick is like you're on the grass. And I'm like, I'm good. And then so I was like kind of like, oh, this probably isn't my guy.
I don't want him on the floor with a dab rig in a mosh pit.
All the lights like swoop down on us. I was like, oh no, I was all scared we're gonna get in trouble.
A glass blower? That's wild.
I liked him at first because we went on, I think that was like our second date, because our first date we're at a bar, and when he showed up, or when we met and sat down, he gave me this like glass flower that he blew in glass.
That's nice.
Like, oh, that's really sweet.
And then he dropped the ball with the mosh pit on the floor dab rig.
Torch in the mosh pit is too much.
Keep the torch at home. Torch in the parking lot.
I know I grew up on the Ren Fair, but
that's where I draw the line.
It wasn't my choice. It's like kids who grow up super Christian and then they like, turn agnostic. I'm like, it was just my upbringing.
That's so funny. How did your parents meet before?
My mom was a waitress. And my dad is a drummer, and so he was playing in a band, and they did like late night at the diner, and that's how they met.
That's cute.
It's cute.
Is your dad still a drummer?
Yeah, and here's crazy story. I think I've said this before, but on a podcast. But he like, when my mom got pregnant, he went to DeVry, and he got his degree in engineering. Started working in aerospace and like the FAA over the course of like many years, and then ended up. Like going into rocket science and building cables for like rockets.
What?
And then he's retired. And the whole time he was playing in like Irish rock bands and little pubs in Arizona. And now that he's retired, he just like a year ago joined a new band, and they're like touring.
Really?
Yeah.
You and your dad both on tour?
We are. And I tell him, I'm like, Dad, it's not a competition. But we joke about it. But it's cool to see somebody like continuing the dream that long. It like helps me go and see like, oh, it can be done, like even if he had other responsibilities, but
that's cool.
He's still like stuck with it, and I think he's really happy now playing with this new band.
That's so fun.
They're a Celtic band and they all wear kilts.
No.
Yeah.
What's your dad's name?
Well, I wonder if I should say it.
Okay, you don't have to say his name.
I always wonder how much I should talk about my family. Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah,
I mean,
all the time. I just dragged my cousin in the last episode, so that we'll see how that goes.
Well, he doesn't really, as far as I know, watch a lot of the stuff I do, but he has friends. He says he's got this friend at the open mic who might be watching this, and
shout out to that
I think
friend.
I could say his name's Mario, so shout out Mario. But
shout out Mario.
My dad's always saying, Mario's a fan of yours. I'm like, cool.
Dude, the guy who I bought my car from, he was like, he went to go run. He went to go Mario Kart. Yeah. He went to go run my credit, but instead he looked up my social media and then came back and was like, "So how's Rogan?" And he was like, and I was like, "This is so awkward. I just want you to teach me how to drive the fucking car." And then he text messaged me after I bought the car from him and was like, "My daughter follows you on Instagram."
I guess that's sweet, but that's kind of a violation of privacy.
It's like, I don't need text messages from you about how your daughter follows the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? Our interactions have halted. I got the car. You got paid. We move on. I don't stay in touch with the man who sold me my car.
Did he lower your APR or anything?
No, he didn't do shit.
Oh,
and then he posted a photo of me on the Instagram. He's like, "Can I take a photo of you in the new car?" I was like, "Sure."
They did that with me too. I think they
do that with everyone.
For their sales, yeah. But maybe yours, he made extra special. It's like, can you sign it?
He sent it to his daughter.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. So do you want to do a special?
Right now?
Or just in general? Is it on your radar?
Yeah, I do eventually, but I have like, I don't know if it's like imposter syndrome or what, but I think
I also have imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I think we all do to a level, right? But,
what is that?
Well, I think in a lot of comics, we respect the craft so much that like you grow up seeing people doing it, and then when you're doing it, like I know when I go off stage, I'm like, God, I just wish I was better. And sometimes I'll look back at tapes and I'm like, I'm not as bad as I think when I get off stage. Like, I know I'm good. I wouldn't be able to keep going this long, and people keep coming back. And I think my audience, too, is on the ride with me. So they know I'm still learning and growing and getting better every time. But I don't want to rush it, the special. And I've been so lucky with Kill Tony and Bad Friends that I have a following.
Yeah.
That I can still work out, and I don't need to, like, put a bunch of clips out right now.
Yeah.
But I do
want to. Clip culture is exhausting, dude.
It is. Like, I'd rather do what I'm doing now and just doing not specials, sketches.
Sketches are fun.
Yeah, and just giving comedic content, but really, like, I just take a lot of pride in the content, and I just want to make sure the jokes are, like, really sharpened and I'm saying what I want to say.
I know. I'm like that too, but then I'm afraid that it's another 15 years are going to go by, and I'm like, I think it's finally time.
I know, and that's the other thing too, is like we hold the jokes so precious, but they're just jokes. And I
know, and then you think of more, which is the craziest part. There's weeks where I'm like, I may never think of another one again. And then you do, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
When you think of a new joke, it feels so good.
It feels so good, and sometimes you tape something, like I've done 2 short sets, and as soon as they're out, because it takes a long time for these people, these companies, you know, they got to edit them and they have other things to put out.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time. And by the time the actual tape comes out, I feel like I've grown so much as a comic that I don't even like the set anymore, but it's online forever now.
I know, and it's like embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
You could see me bomb online all over the place. Kill Tony, the early episodes when I'd been doing stand-up for not that long. And I just made this minute in the car on the way here. And
it was a whole different beast of a show. Like, it was much smaller scale.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool because I think, like, you're like me, where like these people have followed you for so long, they're on your journey with you.
I know, which is a good feeling.
It's cool.
It is cool.
Some people they pop and then they're like, then they get their fans, and it's all good. But we're in a cool world right now where, you know, you don't have to work the road in these small bars like forever to gain your audience. You can just, I don't know, have these people online follow you from all over the world and go on the journey with you.
Yeah. Wait, when did you start playing the trumpet?
When I was 10.
Really? Did your dad teach you?
No, my dad plays drums, like I said, but his dad, my grandpa, played trumpet. And he didn't teach me, but because he lived in Virginia, but I played in my school band. And I just stuck with it. And that's all I was going to do was be a music teacher and stay in music. But I think I always wanted to be a performer, but I never thought I could. Like, I didn't think I was talented enough, and it was just too scary. And then I ended up, you know, dropping out of school and working at that smoke shop and dating glass blowers.
After you date a glass blower, the next step is comedy.
Yeah, I was like, I should just do it. And so I got in and I got addicted like everybody else, and I just haven't stopped for 12 years.
It's so crazy how that happens.
Yeah, I looked back do you ever look back at your stories archive on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I was working. And even just 7 years ago, my posts were like, 3rd mic of the night, I haven't got up yet, but my name's in the bucket. Like,
yeah, no, it's also weird when you're like, whoa, I didn't realize I've aged. And then I look at something from 2018, I'm like, damn, who's that bitch?
Yeah, I'm like, she was so cute.
She was so cute. Now it's too late to switch careers. If I could only go back and tell her, just fucking hang in quit now.
You wouldn't do
ahead.
it. No. You love it.
I know. It's one of those things that's kind of sadistic because you're like, oh, it's so crazy and I'm in my head all the time. And then you get off stage and you're like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah, stopping smoking cigarettes has been crazy because I've quit a bunch of times, but I've heard within like the 3 months after you quit, things get better.
Are you feeling angry?
Well, the first 2 weeks I was so angry at everything.
Ragey?
Yeah, like irritable. Like things would just like piss me off so much. But that's kind of past it now. I get super emotional. Like I just get really sad. And usually I would just smoke. And I think my mind was just thinking about how much my body hurt. So I was like suppressing it. So now I'm like going through all these and I've been looking up, you know, I just Google like, you know, I Google things to say, is this normal? You know, kind of.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about that, but that's a huge part of quitting smoking. Is like now you have to like learn new ways to manage stress. And I've heard within like 3 months, it should be like even better than before.
Do you have the app that tells you how much money you've saved on cigarettes? Or like the app that tells you how much better your lungs are doing? There's an app that tells you like, okay, you made it 30 days, so this is what's happening in your body.
I haven't done that because I feel like maybe it's from playing trumpet and and hiking a lot. Like I never noticed a bad like consequence on my lungs. Like I don't know why, but I would like smoke a cigarette and then go to yoga.
No, I know. I've been hiking and vaping. That's not good.
While you're hiking?
Yeah. That's a beautiful view.
Can you take me higher?
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
That's all you're gonna hear now when you vape on the hiking trail.
Just Creed.
Yeah, but one of the first times I quit, I was working as a production assistant at the Late Late Show, and we'd have to go up like 3 flights of stairs all the time, sometimes with like waters, and it was just, the elevators were really out of the way, so we just do the stairs. And I remember like having a hard time getting up the stairs, and so then I quit. But this last time has only been like less than a year that I was smoking. So, and before that, I think I had quit for like 3 years.
Again in Texas?
No, but it didn't help me quit.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Texas is really where I leaned in. I vaped one time. I go, this is what I do now.
Yeah, it's so fun to. I mean, you just feel like you're in the Wild West. Everybody's doing it. It's like,
everyone's doing it, and it looks cool. I hate that it looks cool, but it smells gross.
I look at it different now because it is. Everybody knows they kill you or they shave off years of your life.
Right.
I don't know if you can say kill on here, but
you can say kill.
Everyone knows
unalive you. They unalive you.
They unalive you.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just it's socially acceptable form of self-harm. And so
especially in like Europe, like a chic French lady and like a beret smoking fun.
Maybe that's how I quit, but I might just change my mind on it. Like, I just don't think it's cool anymore.
It's not. It kills you.
Like, I don't even think it looks cool. Like, I used to think it looked cool, but now it doesn't. That's how I get out of things. I just have to like choose what I believe.
And stay with that.
And stay with it. And then I kind of flip like a switch and I'm like, okay, that's how I believe it now.
Do you meditate?
I don't really. It's hard for me to meditate.
Yeah.
My mind's like crazy. But yoga helps a lot because it's hard. I thought yoga was like super easy, like sissy sport, but I did it and it's really hard.
No, it's so hard because you have to like engage your core.
And some of them use weights and they're like, it doesn't even feel like yoga. I'm like, what did I sign up for? And they put the heat on and they're just like, I don't know, you're doing like jumping jacks with weights, and then I don't know, it moves really fast. Like there's different levels of yoga classes. And
no, I remember doing this yoga class when I was like in my 20s, and there were like these yoga moms that were like in their 40s, and they were like ripped and like competitive.
So ripped.
I'm like, I don't understand, bitch. Is this all you're doing every day? Because it looks like it. They're like in Lululemons, their husband's at work. I'm like, this is the life for me. I just want to be at the yoga studio.
I know it. I feel so much better after too, but it's hard to like get there.
Oh yeah, I got a gym membership. I go, I'm going to buy it for the full year because it was cheaper, right? That was about 3 weeks ago, and I've been once, and I'm like, fuck, did I not need the full year membership? There's something about going to the gym. It's not a nice one.
No.
You know, like I went to Equinox. Now that I've seen Equinox, this is like the peasants' gym. I'm like, and like everyone here is
the Renaissance Fair gym.
Yeah, it's just like everything's a little more rough around the edges. Like the scents aren't as good. In Equinox, it smells like eucalyptus. Like, you know what I mean? Here, it smells like sweat. And I don't know. I signed up for it and I'm yet to go. And then they like made me sign up with a personal trainer. They really forced that on me.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I didn't go. I canceled.
You ghosted the trainer?
I ghosted the physical trainer. I like working out outside more.
Yeah, I love hiking.
Me too.
But the yoga is easy for me because it's group exercise, but nobody's talking to each other because we're working out, and everyone's like looking forward. And the instructor will, like, depending on the instructor, some of them will adjust if you're like doing the thing
I like
wrong.
getting adjusted.
I do too.
It makes me feel like they care.
Yeah.
And if I get a deep stretch in, I'm happier. I'm like, yes, I wouldn't be able to reach my toes without that push, bitch.
Yeah, I almost got not a handstand, but I got like on my arms only.
Oh, that's fun.
And then I fell over, but it was so quiet in the room. But I was like, at least I tried.
I went to this yoga place for a while that was in Studio City. It was called Yoga Shelter. It doesn't exist anymore. But like the husband and wife that ran it, they were like kind of like culty vibes. And they made me, the wife made me sign up for this thing called a goddess workshop.
Uh-huh.
And I was like 24, 25. And I went to this goddess workshop for $40. And it was like weird, dude. It was like just like this overly sexual, like sober 40-year-old woman being like, if you don't understand what's between your legs, how is anyone else going to? Like talking about how she like masturbates in front of a mirror. It was the craziest shit. And I paid $40. And then she made me cry. She made me make eye contact with a stranger who I just met, who was obviously anorexic. I had to stare into the stranger's eyes for 15 minutes. By the end of it, she's sobbing. And then I never went back to the studio again. I went for years there, and then I got swindled into the goddess workshop, and ever since, that's
you
it.
like paid her to assault you?
Yeah, she was like talking about like how to be like sexually awake, and I was like, whoa, she's very sexual for like a middle-aged lady.
I wonder if it's still going on. I'm gonna sign up.
Sign up for the goddess workshop. We're Facebook friends. I should DM her and be like, you still doing that goddess workshop?
That's nuts. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, no. And he used to they used to say like weird slogans, like yoga slogans. It was like, fuck, I can't think of any of them now. He'd make up like rhyming things, like stay fit through the shit, like stuff like that.
I hate that.
And I'd be like, yeah. Yeah, Eric, I am.
So you were just like working out with like high sexual, I guess, overtones.
They were like weird sexual overtones, but they were also like former addicts, and they like yoga saved them. And so they were like this married couple, but then they got like this divorce, and she'd like talk shit about him, and then everything just went away.
Oh my!
But it was a time yoga shelter.
Yeah, that's not like the yoga I do.
No, yeah. There's no goddess workshop.
No, one time I went into the class, and there were like these big rooms, and I was by the mirror. And there was like maybe enough space for one person next to me to the left. And this couple walked in, and they're really young. And the woman was like, can we go in there? And I was like, I kind of looked, and there's two of them. And I was like, I mean, yeah, of course, if you guys fit.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, and they're just like standing there. And I'm like trying to meditate, you know?
Yeah.
And then they're standing there, and she goes, well, I could hear them bickering. And she's like, I want to be by the mirror.
No.
And so she just kind of like got in there 3 minutes before the class started, and just like, I think she was just asking me to move, like, to another spot.
Did you?
No.
We all want the mirror spot, bitch.
I think in the past I would have moved but I was just like, I got here 15 minutes early. Like, I'm sorry you don't have the spot you want, but I'm not
sorry you don't get to stare at yourself. Now I do, so.
Yeah, and then they were just glaring at me from the front of the room. And I was like, well, her boyfriend wasn't, and I think he might have been embarrassed, but it was just like, I don't know. And then I kind of, at first I like felt bad, like maybe I should have just moved to avoid the conflict. But I was like, no, I think I'm okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I went to yoga. I made one of my ex-boyfriends go to yoga with me in Sedona. And he was like the antithesis of a yoga guy. He was like, this is my fucking nightmare. But since we're like on vacation, we'll do it, right? So we go to yoga at like 9 a.m. on vacation. And the lady was like very like into sharing your feelings, and we sit in a circle, and she's like, "No, we're gonna go around."
What? This is not like the yoga.
Before we start, we're gonna go around and we're gonna say something that we're very grateful for. And everyone's like, "Love, my family." And then my boyfriend at the time, it gets to him, he's like, "Food." It's just like, I was like, "What? You said food?" He's like, "Yeah, because I was in hell and I wasn't gonna say something serious, and I am grateful for food." And like, by the end, you could just tell that he was in hell, and just like,
did people laugh?
No, not really. It was just like dark. It was like I knew he was mad, and then he's like, food," and I was like, okay, this is a weird vibe.
Yeah, I don't want to go to any workout and where we all have to talk to each other.
No. Forced community.
No way.
I don't like forced community.
Not in LA. In LA, they don't play like that. It's like get in, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are more like, yeah, I'm doing this to stay fit, not to socialize.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I got a gym membership and I'm yet to use it. And I'm like, oh, there's a pool? Yeah, I'll be doing laps. I've never once swam in it.
It's been 3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks. But I've been home this whole 3 weeks. Like normally I'm like, I'm on the road. That's why.
Yeah, I feel you. But we like crash on the road. I'm about to go. Pretty much gone every weekend until like November. And
really?
And I'm just I've done a couple weekends in the past, but this is like every time I go out, I'm doing a weekend now, except for this Killers That Kill Tony tour. That's like an ensemble thing. But yeah, on my own, they're all weekends, and I'm a little nervous, but like it's more excitement.
Yeah.
And just to grow as a comic and get out there and do my own thing.
So fun.
Yeah, but I think when I get back, I'm a little bit more motivated because I only have 3 days in town.
Yeah, so you're like, I'm going to make the best of this 3 days.
Yeah, but now I had these 2 weeks off, and I was just, and the Bad Friends tour ended, and I had this little break, and we also partied a lot at the Netflix festival. And
dude, the Netflix festival, it was like, I was exhausted. I was putting in hours of just drinking. I'm like, I gotta go for my career. And then I'd be like, we're all still hanging out. It's 2:30. I'm leaving. I can't.
Well, and my spots are all like, they were all like at 10 p.m. and later. Not the like Kill Tony shows, but my personal spots. And so I'd like wake up late and then go to the store around 10. And then after my spot, I'd want to hang out. So I'd get home until like 3.
And then you wake up at 1 and you're like, why am I sad? And you're like, well, you were out until 3. You were drinking. That's probably why you're a little bit sad. You missed the whole morning. Like, it's just so crazy that the thought of having like a regular schedule, like I have to put that aside. You know what I mean? Because when you're in your 20s, you're like, yeah, I'm out till 2. Fuck yeah, I am. I'm fun.
When did you start stand-up?
In 2010.
Or how old were you?
24.
Oh yeah, I started when I was 21. So it's like our whole 20s, we're just
partying,
hanging out. and in bars and at nightlife. And so it's easier when you're younger. But now we have some traction and we have to.
Like I still have to show up to this shit. It's crazy.
It is, yeah. And tonight, I'm just going to go home.
Tonight, I'm going to go home too.
Yeah.
It did make me feel better that you said you were going to go home too. What is that?
Yeah. You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do yoga.
Yoga and Jenga.
They have a night one where they do like these fake candles. Yeah. And
that's fun.
It's kind of fun. But my skin feels better, my face feels better, and then when I don't do it, like this morning I woke up and I was all puffy.
Your skin like glows after you do hot yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should do some hot yoga.
I wish I could bring my dog though.
That would be so fun. What about goat yoga? You don't think that does nothing for you? No. I thought maybe it would. I thought maybe like goat yoga.
I grew up at the Ren Fair.
Okay. But like goat yoga one time sounds fun.
Yeah, I would try it.
Like a goat, they get on your back and that helps you like stretch more.
They do?
I think so, yeah. Can we look up goat yoga? Yeah.
I would
They walk on your back.
I think.
Okay, look.
They walk under you?
We should go. Goat yoga in Santa. They walk on you.
Of course it is in LA.
See?
Whoa. I could not do that push-up.
With a goat on you?
No, I could barely do it alone.
See, that looks fun.
It looks fun. But like
also like boundaries, goats.
How do you concentrate?
What if your dog could do that on you?
She does like she looks at me like, what are you doing? When I'm like stretching at home, and she'll like jump around me.
That's so cute.
She wants to play. She'll like bring me a toy, and yeah.
Dogs are the best.
They're great.
They make everything so much better.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like traveling and then you come home to your dog.
I know. They're so happy to see you.
You're like, this creature thinks I'm literally the best. Like, it's crazy. Even if I go to like CVS and I come home, he acts like I've been gone for years.
Yeah, sometimes Squink will be like mad at me. Like she won't run to the door, and I'll go in the room, and she's just looking at me like,
how did you left me?
I thought you were coming back.
No.
Yeah, and her ears are down. And then she'll like wiggle up to me.
Oh my God. I know. I'm like, I have mom guilt and I don't even have a kid. Like, it must be like that times 1,000 if you have a kid.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Like, I can't leave them.
I know. I'm gone so much too. See you next week.
See you later. It's Dad's week again.
Yeah. Bring my baby to yoga.
Yeah. Bring your baby on stage.
Yeah.
People do that. Like in
I've
a harness.
seen it at open mics.
That's so dark. Going to an open mic with your baby strapped to you, kill me now. If that is still unalive me, if that is my life.
You don't see that in the main room.
Yeah, you don't see that in the main room. You see it at the mics.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. Like, I gotta get my tight 5 ready for TV because I'm a mom now.
I've seen moms and men.
With their babies strapped to them?
dads. What's the male equivalent to a mom? I've seen moms and dads do that.
No.
Yeah, and they just have them on, and it just kind of looks like they have a little ventriloquist dummy on their legs.
When I was in Chicago, one of the owners of the club brought her baby and had him in the green room. And I was kind of like, okay, an artist needs to prepare. I hate to like kill the vibe. I know like your maternal instinct and whatever, like good for you. But like, do you have to be in my space with the baby, dude?
Yeah, because then you also have to be like, oh, it's so
cute. And then I'm like, now it's about the baby and I'm about to headline and go on stage. And I'm like, distracting.
Yeah,
As the
you're
owner of the club, you think maybe you'd leave your baby at home. I don't know. Leave it in the office.
In the office. Yeah, not the green room.
Not the green room. It was jarring.
I don't like that.
No, me either. Never again.
I would have been waiting in the office, I think.
Oh my God. The worst is when you get into the green room and there's people you've never seen in your life and you're when you're headlining and then the other people in the green room that you don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm a pussy, so I won't say anything. I'll be like, yeah, everyone's welcome.
I had this guy do a drop-in set at one of my headlining shows. And it was the last show. So he wasn't there all weekend. It was 6 shows. So there was a lot, so it's on the 6th show and he's there. And he knows nothing about me, who I am. I don't even know if he knew I was headlining.
Yeah.
And he's just in there like asking me all these questions. Like, because I bring the trumpet when I headline.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, is that a trumpet? And he's like, that's so cool. Like, what do you bring that on stage? And I'm like going over my notes and he's just like, how long have you been doing comedy? And like, oh, do you live here? Like all these questions. And I'm just like
trying to be nice, but it's like, fuck.
Yeah, I was just kind of like short with them. And then I felt bad after the show. I think he realized, oh, she's headlining or something. And he bought some of my merch.
He bought some merch?
I think it was like a guilt purchase.
Fuck yeah, he did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Artists supporting artists.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I feel bad. I didn't like this guy. But yeah, it was just like, if you're in the green room and you're especially doing a guest spot, like just be cool. Feel the vibe. Don't try to be the leader in the room.
Yeah, there was a baby in the green room and then just a comic that wasn't on the show at all, who I've never met before. And then security was like, do you want me to ask him to leave? And I was like, yeah, but like in a cool way. Don't be mean about it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do it while I'm here because I feel weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that it's not even just like we're women, so we have to be careful. People just don't think we're like bitches or something.
Yeah.
But I think it's just we're not like superstars.
Right.
Like we have a good following and everything, but we're not like at that level where it's like, I don't know.
Respect me. Don't come into my green room if I've never seen you once in my life and you're not on the show.
Yeah, so it's like it's really, we're in this weird like middle child area of comedy.
So weird.
Yeah, and so it's there's a lot of dynamics like that, and people just don't. I don't even know if it's a lack of respect. I think it's more of an ignorance or naivety where they don't think anything's wrong with being there. But you're like, I have to do an hour. Like, you're not even on the show.
You're not even on the show. And you're sitting in the best seat in the green room because that's how it always is. And like the most comfy one. You're charging your fucking phone. Like, I'm in your living room now?
Yep.
The fuck?
And they're like, and they don't realize that most of the people there are your people. Like they came out to see you, and then they're just like, wow, people really turned up tonight.
Yeah.
Did they?
They're like, can I get a hamburger? I'm like, what? Are you gonna tip? The wait staff doesn't feel like I'm gonna have to tip on your behalf now. Like that whole thing. That's our episode.
That's how it ended?
Yeah.
That was so abrupt.
I know.
Was it hard 45? You're just out.
I was like, yeah. It was a hard 45 and I went way over.
Oh, okay. I was like, that was like, all right, get out. This is your stop.
I was like, anyways, that's our podcast. See you next week. Where can people find you? This is coming out a week from Wednesday.
JetskiJohnson.com. All my dates there.
Hell yeah.
I'm doing Nashville, Vegas, Edmonton.
Fun.
In Canada. And then Arlington and Seattle.
Ooh, fun.
More dates to come, but if you're in those places, check out JetskiJohnson.com.
Guys, get tickets to see Jetski. She's so fun and funny, and you guys will have the best time. And yeah, what's your Instagram? Did you plug that?
Jetski Johnson.
Jetski Johnson. We love it. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Shank. You can find me here every Monday. No, you can find me here every Wednesday on Shank and every Monday on this bitch. Patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk for bonus content. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.